So we need to start defending one another's civil liberties as if though the affront was visited upon our heads. That's how we can promote a culture of liberty in this country, is that as if though we start reacting to someone else's usurpation of their rights as if though it happened to us. That's the only way. It's incumbent on the American people to keep our own civil liberties, or we're going to lose them.
Yes, absolutely. And Deb she brought up a good point. She has a question about, I think she touched on it during one of the breaks, but we split up. But was there a reason why Antifa in Portland didn't protest during the Bundy trial as vigorously as you see them protesting? Is there a reason why they kind of backed off a little bit when they were looking at this Bundy trial in Portland? Why wasn't Antifa bashing all of the hardline conservatives? Is that the way you wanted to phrase that statement as you were talking?
It is,
Mike?
because as we saw the summer progress, right? We saw the summer progress, and it got violent in Portland quite often. And it still amazes me.
There was fights yesterday. People were bloodied, pepper sprayed, kicked, arrested. There was a near riotous fight yesterday.
For the most part,
alt-right and Antifa.
Right. For the most part, though, when the Bundy trials were going on, they pretty much left everyone alone. It was the environmentalists came in a couple of times, like the Center for Biological Diversity, and those guys came in.
And trolled them, yes.
Yeah, and trolled them pretty hard. But we never saw that confrontation with the people who stood down there and held vigil during the Bundy trials.
I can explain it to you if you'd like.
I would love that. That's my question.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a great amount of ignorance in the right-wing political, or on the right-wing political spectrum, about what Antifa is and what anarchist is and what Black Bloc is. And it would take a whole show for me to go through all the history, but I understand all these nuances. Okay, during the Bundy trials, myself and other anarchists were standing outside. When they transport you guys in the bus, Pete, and they put the newspaper over the windows.
Right.
We were outside saying we're standing in solidarity with you, and we believe you're political prisoners, and we understand that you're being railroaded by an oppressive government. See, the Trump presidency has polarized things to where these everyone is in an extreme camp now, and there's more violent confrontation. There are still quite a few anarchists that I know in Portland that support what the Bundys did, support the fact that they were protesting. The only difference between Occupy Portland, when we took two parks and set up a makeshift anarchist community there, and the Malheur occupation at the Malheur occupation they had guns, and some of those people there said that they were willing to defend themselves.
Oh, that's not the only difference.
The only real difference.
That's not the only difference, and this is where we need to engage in conversation here.
Well, okay, right on.
Yeah,
that's the primary difference that I saw.
Yeah, but we didn't have George Soros supplying the guns.
Well,
you had to get a dig in there.
I had to throw that in there. Sorry.
I would like to get no. That's fine. I would love to get into that. George Soros's pet charity actually funded and held the coffers for the main branch of Occupy in Zuccotti Park. I understand that.
That's right.
But what a lot of people don't understand is Occupy was decentralized. Like Occupy Portland had its own financial committee and its own backing, and it was not on the teat of OWS. But the reason why a lot of people on the right say that Soros controls a lot of stuff is because, well, he uses his quote-unquote philanthropic interest to funnel money into causes that he wants to cause political change in. And you're right about that, Pete, but it wasn't Occupy Portland. We had our own separate financial
That's cool.
Means of supporting ourselves, just so you know. But, here's the thing. Like I said, Trump was a very polarizing individual, and the reason why people are separated into their two camps, well, the left created Trump. And let me explain it. This whole SJW culture where everybody's tippy-toeing around and they're afraid to say this, that, or the other word, and people being triggered over every little thing, that brought the right out to vote for him. So in a sense, they put Trump where he is just as much as any right-wing person.
That's right.
Because it was a visceral reaction to all this censorship, this social censorship. Because, the left are really good at using social media as a means to dominate, control, and manipulate their political enemies.
And very organized.
A lot of
very
organized, and they really know what they're doing. I mean, that was one of the things that I first noticed at Malheur is when I went there. I think Evan is awesome. I think Ryan is awesome. They were kind to me. They allowed me to talk to them about anarchism. They sat there and patiently listened. I could not imagine people on the left giving them the same courtesy that they gave me.
True story.
I just can't imagine it in this political climate. And part of it has to do with that false dichotomy, bringing the two sides apart. And I'll digress to what I said before. We all need to stop cheerleading for our own enslavement, and people on the left need to stop cheerleading for the enslavement of the people on the right, and vice versa. Like they're coming for everyone's civil liberties, and we really need to start waking up and smelling the fascism, and smelling the tyranny, whatever word you want to call it, and start defending one another's civil liberties, or we're doomed.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, what does SKW mean? What is that an acronym for?
SKW?
Yeah, you said
SK. Not sure.
You said SKW.
No, I said SJW.
SJW.
Like social justice warrior.
Oh, yeah.
These politically correct ninnies that will call your work and say that you said something racist because they don't like.
Oh yeah, that is horrifying. Okay, we had that happen to us. Yeah, people calling our sponsors. Pete said something about Hillary Clinton one time that the Huffington Post didn't appreciate.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, man! I mean, we lost all of our sponsors. We had to go in hiding for like 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah,
seriously,
it was bad, and that was the entire Hillary Clinton 2016 campaign coming upon us.
Social justice warriors.
Let me take care of some housekeeping items here before we go to the break.
I do want to mention something to Mike here real quick.